Welcome back, drumheads. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy Year.
I'm over here on the couch in the green room and of the Green Room Glasgow,
100%.
the podcast studio. But don't get too used to it. This is just a little bit of a special occasion because drumheads, I know you like having guests on in the show. But guess what? Today we got three big boys here for you. We got Craig Lawrie.
You're not big.
We got Davey Sheridan.
Mediocre.
And we got Les Galbraith over here. But before we get into it, there is a couple of shout outs as we usually do.
Yep.
I've got to start off with a bit of a tragic one. It's a bit of a...
Cool.
But Stephen Paddo Patterson, he's the Secretary of New South Wales Pipe Bands and Pipe Bands Australia. He recently just passed away after Christmas. Did a lot for pipe bands in Australia. So yeah, it's a shame to think he's gone now. Bumped his shoulders with a couple of times. But yeah, all the best to him and his family. And
Just in another memorandum, right? You should maybe be aware that Scooby Black, a drumming adjudicator, but more importantly, I kind of known him because he worked in the army, and he's a legend. He passed away. I think it was just
Last
Christmas
week,
last week.
Right.
So my condolences for the show, obviously, to all the family and all the people that are close to him. So that's a bit of a sad one.
Yep.
However, on the up front,
yes,
do we have any good shout-outs?
there was a big thing that happened, if you've been following along on social media, for an old fella called Rab McCutcheon.
Yeah, I seen
Anybody
it.
been
He's
following
kind of,
this?
I don't know if you've noticed this. He got issued a medal for the king.
Yep.
You seen it? His meritorious medal. But,
Massive.
I tell you what, I would have given him a medal because he's helped our band out quite a lot massively. He's a good guy.
Yep.
So I should maybe give him. I'll give him a medal as well.
Yeah, go.
I'll send him
We'll
something.
give him a drum score medal.
We'll give him a
what
drum.
do you
We'll give him a drum key. Be key then.
Yeah, and then you also had a little thing you were talking to me before about Dangerous Brian. Did you want to expand on
Oh
this?
yeah, right. So this is a great thing, right?
I don't
So
feel like
because
this.
no, listen, this is a great
Story
thing.
time, right?
This is a great thing. So the kids absolutely hate my show, right? So my daughter, she's like, I can't see what the thing is, and my son, he as well, he's like, whatever, bit embarrassed. But the weird thing is their pals follow the show. So one of them's a guy called Dangerous Brian, and that's my son's pal.
Yeah.
And my daughter's pal,
Dangerous
wee Gracie, she follows the show. So, How good's that? I've infiltrated them for their pals.
Guess what, guys? Your dad's cool.
That's what everyone wants to hear.
Nobody's got cool dads. Nobody.
So obviously it's a Happy New Year sort of episode. Fellas, what do you get up to you've been on holidays or you've been pipe banding away or what?
I've been quite quiet actually. I'm a builder to trades, so
Yeah.
the weather's been terrible, so I've been taking it pretty easy.
Yeah.
Still going to our band practice every week as best we can. That's been about it.
How did the Christmas go?
Quiet. Had it at home. Well, I say quiet. We had 18 people for Christmas dinner.
How's that quiet?
It's usually 25. It was decent. And we had a good hug many at my sister-in-law's. Apart from that, quiet.
Yeah.
Craig, gigging?
Aye.
What bees then? Do tell.
Crown Plaza, Glasgow. Then we were doing Davie's neck of the woods. Went to his house for a Hogmanay party. No, it was actually relatively quiet considering years gone by with the band. We've sometimes had 3 and 4 gigs each band. We've got sometimes 2 and 3 bands out in one night.
What do you think that's to do with anything in particular? Or?
We deliberately didn't take as much on this year.
Right.
Given how congested, I'd use the term, 2025 was
Mm.
between the pipe band season, practices, and the amount of gigs I was trying to cram in. I lost a lot of money out of not putting the pipe band first, but obviously being in a position where you can't really just go, nah, I'm not coming out to practice and I'm going to do a gig. You know,
Yeah.
you signed the contract.
Wait. Are you wanting Rab's medal? Is that what it's-
Listen,
Are you fishing for that?
I can engrave my name. Right. That was, given how mental the year was, I was actually quite happy throughout December to not be gigging every second, third day.
Yeah.
Quite happy with that. We actually managed to finish work, I think it was in the 18th or the 19th. So I was quite happy getting finished a couple of days earlier than we expected, having that extra couple of days off first couple of days, as you do, you just laze about the couch like an absolute potato
Yeah.
and do nothing and start.
Drop dead.
You decide what you're binge watching on Netflix for
Yeah.
the next couple of weeks.
Les, what was your Christmas like?
Quiet, and some time off band.
I find that hard to believe in Larkhill.
Well, funnily enough, it was.
It's never known as a quiet place.
Aye, well, you may be right on that.
There's a band
but-
somewhere though.
You can always find a band there. Aye, no, just quiet. Few nights out in the city here, and I enjoyed some time away from band. Actually, just a
Right.
wee break, recharge your batteries, get ready to go again.
Because I was going to ask you, right? So obviously it's a new year, right? And I suppose it's the kind of obligatory look back at, right? So 2025, Les, right? Your band and your core. How do you think that went for you, 2025?
I think it was a good year. Obviously,
Yeah.
Well, the end was a bit better, obviously, but the
How's that going? You're dying to say it. How?
Tell
might have won something.
Do you know why I'm asking it? Because obviously, right, as a band, I thought you were fantastic. You got a fantastic core. I love your dynamics. I love the way that you're all put together, right? And anybody that's got an ear in their head obviously appreciates that. But the thing I was wanting to kind of angle towards was after that season, right? I suppose everybody's asking, what was the story? How you know up? How did you know? What happened?
we were actually convinced we were going up.
That's what I thought.
Aye, like we thought it was a
We were
dead
the same.
cert, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And then the grading stuff happened and all that, and we just never heard anything. So we thought, oh, well, maybe hear something yet, but nothing came yet. So made some inquiries and just basically, I think the answer was we weren't consistent enough over 2 seasons. I think now what they're looking for is consistency over a couple of years before going up to grade 1, rather than just winning at once and both you're up. It was a case of that maybe they're wanting you to do that the following year. But I mean, it's a hard grade, and there's a lot of bands there that anybody could win it on their day, you know.
Les,
So-
could you do me a favour, just for it, because we got loads of international listeners and
Yeah,
people who don't know. What's the band and what grade you in?
I saw it say Glasgow Sky Association Pipe Band in grade 2.
Nice.
Happy?
No, that's there's a round of applause on the other end.
Listen,
Everyone's like,
100%, right? Because obviously sometimes it's like the knowledge and what knowledge people have that might tune in and all that, and sometimes I take it as read that people know. But do you think that's about? I think that's a bit harsh, because I suppose in a way the reward of doing a really good or successful season should be that, well, if you've won, you should go up.
Yeah,
And I know that maybe they don't like the kind of like a kind of swing door approach where you're up 1 year but you're not good enough to kind of sustain and be in grade 1 consistently. But at least in a weird sort of way, at least it gives the guys in the band the fact that they've went, we've made it, we've made that climb kind of thing. Davey, your year 2025
Aye.
with which band? I should say.
So it's the Royal Borough Annan, also grade 2.
Yeah.
Pretty happy with the season. We had quite a few changes in the personnel. We lost a few players the season before, so it was a wee bit of kind of rebedding in with certain players. So pretty happy with it, you know. But similarly, what Les done this year, we done in 23.
Yeah.
And we thought we would be automatically upgraded, and we didn't get it either for the same reasons as what Les has just said. And
Do you think there's a danger with that? Like, see if I was in your... I love this. See if I was in your core. You would be in my core, pal. But what I mean is, see if you were in the core, or you see if you're in the back end, right? And you're like, right, we're playing out our skin this year, we're winning stuff, we're getting, everybody's telling us we're sounding great, da-da-da. And then obviously the rug gets pulled, you're not going up. Do you think that kind of acts as well as a fact that you might go, do you know what, I never went up with them, but maybe I could backdoor it and go to another core that's already there? If you follow what I mean.
I don't know. I don't know if that would happen, but certainly what I did notice going into 24 was the stuffing was at the band a wee bit.
Yeah.
Just because all the goals and targets we had set, we achieved and more.
Yeah.
So when it came to the realisation that we weren't going to go any further than that, I think it took a lot of motivation to try and get the band back up again to that same standard. And still kind of living in that hangover a wee bit into 25, to be honest.
Craig, you are with?
Uddingston, grade 2. I'd agree with what Davey says there. It is, we're the three of us at some point over the last 3 years have felt that subliminal boot up the backside where you're kind of like, you kind of wanted it to happen because you feel that the amount of hard work, we've all done our individual ways of the amount of hard work we've put in throughout a close season and throughout the season as well. Because the difficult decisions don't just stop in the winter. It happens on the day of the contest, it happens the night before, 2 nights before. It can be a multitude of things. And I think that the way Davey's actually explained that there is spot on. It knocks the stuffing out of you a wee bit. We were the same as Les. We thought we were going to go up. We won the first 2. We fell away a wee bit at Perth. And then pretty much the same at the Worlds as well. We hadn't really hit where we wanted to hit as a band anyway, the last 2. But we thought that was going to be enough because we won Dumbarton last year and then won it again this year and winning the first one of the season this year. I'm still in 2025 here. It knocks the stuff out of you a wee bit and you can see it draining out the guys a wee bit. But it's us 3 here, it's our jobs to keep every day G'd up.
And then you have to do it again.
Yeah.
Rally, whole.
When you've used your whole vocabulary of G-ups through that winter.
How's your guys feeling? Obviously, it's a close time in the now, right? But what's the vibe? Is your, especially yourself, Les, and yourself, where you're on the kind of cusp and you're chasing? What's the kind of thought? What's the drummers thinking now? Are they still resolute? Is they all kind of?
Yeah, well, the desire's still there, definitely, although we have took a longer break than we would normally take. But I felt it was really needed. So I think we've only had about 2 practices since the Worlds.
Right.
But all the guys are working away in the house in the background and they all seem to be quite motivated still and ready to go again because they're asking me for more scores and all that. So they're clearly keen to keep going and get back onto it. But I think this time of the year for most bands it goes down a bit, doesn't it? And
it's the same.
So it should, right?
No matter where you are, I can't speak for the rest of you sitting here, but I mean, my experience would say that this time of year it's we've got guys, we've got the boy Dan coming for Pitlochry or Blair Gowrie way.
Yeah.
So whether this time of year, we've got the lassie Lizzie coming for Oban, we've got people coming for all over the place. Some of the guys are only 30-second walk down for Tannockside, which is ideal for them. But don't get me wrong, at this time of year, once the Worlds is finished, it is a thing, by the way, and this is the first year I experienced it. It was like post-Worlds blues. And it was genuine post-Worlds blues because you've had such a good season and then all of a sudden, poof, it's done. But the season was over in 6 weeks?
It was a very short season.
It was really short.
It was weird.
It was.
But it's what it was.
Try to keep everybody motivated is what we do as leading drummers. And that's what I see it as anyway. It's you're not only a leading drummer though, as I've said to you in the podcast before, you're a pal, you're a partner, you're a
marriage counsellor.
Aye.
I'm doing something wrong, by the way. I'm doing something wrong. I'm not getting that. Normally folk use words ending with hole in it. No. I've got a different management system though.
What's that?
That's not working very well. Right, I've got a couple of questions for you, right?
Aye.
I want you to think about this. What's the best MSR you've heard? It could even be your own bands. You could be selfish. What's the best MSR you've heard?
See, I've got 2.
You only get one, Craig. You only get one. There's one.
I kind of like going back a bit.
Right, go well.
Especially when I played with Eric.
Right.
We played like...
Eric Wood?
Yeah. Strathclyde Police. It's like Donald Cameron and Rant.
Yes.
And I'm not sure, I can't remember what the real was, but that March in Strathspey for me was phenomenal to play in.
Yeah.
Remember being in Ireland at a major, and it was like you could feel the amount of people standing behind you. It was like and we hit the rant, and
Aye.
people were blown away. You know,
Yes.
to me, obviously you listen to bands and you can appreciate what they're doing and all that, but for me as a player, that was the best that I've certainly ever played in, and probably favourite tune anyway.
It's a cracker.
Aye.
It was none to do with obviously like that kind of competitions, but when I was through at Jim Baxter's thing at Livy, and I heard Kerr play Cameronian Rant. I don't know whether it was the acoustics, whether it was the room. The guy's obviously quite deft at what he does, but the whole room and vibe while I was playing Cameronian Rant
That was good.
was sublime.
Phenomenal,
I've not
aye.
taught him well.
Was but it was, and that tune
Aye.
itself is just like a dynamite tune for it.
Aye.
Davey,
Aye.
best MSR.
I'm kind of similar to Les. I played with Eric as well, and as a wee boy, before I even thought about the chance of playing with Strathclyde Police, their kind of hallmark was Links of Forth,
Yeah.
Athol Cummers and
Yeah.
McAllister's Dirk.
Yeah,
So to get handed that as my first MSR when I joined the corps,
yeah.
it was like, I know this. Well, I know the sound anyway.
Yeah.
Aye,
But when
aye.
you see the dots, it suddenly makes, oh, right, this is maybe not just quite as easy as I thought it was.
Yeah.
David, do you not
Um,
mind me trying to sing that down the phone to you?
Oh, I know. there was a couple of nights before I went to the first band practice where it's like, Les, I'm not getting this fourth part, mate. What is this? But it was a joy, and then that season was probably the most successful season I had with Strathclyde Police.
Yeah.
And we played that set just about at every major MSR. So for me, it had to be that.
That's funny you should say that. In the 2 years I've been with Uddingston, we have only ever drawn the one MSR.
Aye.
Aye, it's weird, isn't it?
Oh.
Aye.
We've only ever drawn the one MSR. I've wasted God knows
All
how
that
many-
time?
Aye.
Aye.
we spoke about this at practices. That how much time have we wasted writing the scores, getting them all the dynamics put in,
Yeah.
putting the chips in, practicing them on their contest at band
And
practices.
now they tunes are probably banned.
Or wait a minute.
True that, anyway.
No unless
Aye.
Craig, see when you give folk money, right?
Aye.
And you say it's number one or it's your A.
No, it's bank transfer now.
What's yours, Craig? Best
Um,
MSR?
Mine for Davie and Souls,
Right.
because I played the first part 3 times.
That's fair. That was brilliant. But,
Nah, probably my favourite one, and I played in it, was 2018 at Dumbarton with the O'Tools.
Right.
We played Links of Forth, Blair Drummond, and Smith. It was 8 parts of the Smith we played.
All right. Nice.
Oh,
Nightmare,
it
but
hits
nice.
about the fourth or fifth part.
Start getting mixed up on that.
No, it was actually, I learnt it part by part, so it was pretty ingrained into my brain
Yeah.
what part was coming next. There's a video on YouTube, and I still watch it from time to time, just thinking how lucky I was to be around that and only go to it once a month for a band practice. And to be playing at that level, winning championships, and playing that 8-parted reel when you're standing right next to the man himself, like,
Oh.
it's daunting. Like,
Mhm.
I love his Lord Alexander Kennedy. I do like songs like
I've never
that.
played
No, this week.
So obviously under Stevie and obviously going to Eric and turning up first time going to Eric's corps, what was that like? Was that quite was it quite inviting, or was it quite was it kind of
For me,
Hold your
aye,
breath, right?
definitely. I mean, I knew quite a lot of the guys in the corps anyway.
Yeah.
One of his kind of flank drummers, Neil Patterson, he's for Annan, and we both started with Annan pipe bands, competing anyway.
Yep.
And there's some other guys in there that I knew anyway, so it was quite familiar, quite daunting at the same time, because you know all these guys have been there and they've done it. They've nothing to prove,
Yeah.
whereas the new guys had to. But when I went in, there was another 2 new guys came in at the same time, so I didn't feel alone. And we kind of helped each other through a wee bit, and we all played all season. You know, there was nobody dropped or anything, so we just kind of tried our best to help each other if we were stuck with something. But Eric's so laid back, you know. He just, the morn would do for Eric.
how
you
does
know.
how does he show his displeasure?
How does he let you
Just
know?
a stare.
Is it a
Aye,
stare?
aye,
Just,
aye.
a,
It's
just a look.
Aye.
A disappointment.
Aye.
You've let yourself down. No me, you've let yourself down.
I'm not angry, just disappointed.
Aye, aye, aye. No, he was.
Wasn't it a shouter?
No, he's
No.
not a shouter.
No.
No, he was fine. I mean, the first major I played, I can't remember where that was. Was it Dumbarton?
Aye.
And you were practicing in the kind of car park area, and then you walk through trees, and,
Yeah.
and there's like a proper U-turn to get onto the Grade 1 arena. I had no clue where I was, and the next thing I looked across and I sees the drumming judge, and I thought, oh well, I've made it then. You know, and that was it. So, aye, thoroughly enjoyable.
Brilliant. How's Stevie? How's his displeasure? What's his?
How long we got?
That's a hard one. Eh?
I'm imagining it's no the look.
No, there is a look.
Is there?
There is a look, but it's always the sunglasses on, and that's even worse.
Oh,
Say what you want.
Can you tell what his eyes are doing under them? Right?
No, listen, he could have his eyes shut at that point, but it's
Aye.
it's as if he's cranked his nose.
Aye.
That makes it more. I suppose that makes it the more the fun of the affair, innit?
Aye.
Aye.
You know what I mean?
So I've got a thing I do with the guys, and I think the whole thing you're talking about there with the stare,
Yeah.
as if there's been a lot of times where I've stood in a core, whether it be as a leading drummer or as a player, and as soon as you know that feeling you get when you make a wee blip, it's like your body jolts,
Yeah.
and you're going, oh no.
Yeah, I did it.
It happened to me at Paisley in 2018. It was my first major with the band, and it happened in the circle. It was Paisley,
What the race course?
the race course, aye. And I honestly felt just I'm done. I'm never playing a drum again. That's how I felt. And I remember Stephen looking at me in the circle as if I could feel him looking at me, but I just kept looking at his drum like that. Didn't take my eyes off it. And
Have your hands stopped moving at that point?
I don't know. I didn't have any control over them at that point. I didn't know what I was
Did
doing.
you see when you find that you've made a mistake like that, right? Are you quick to get back on it, or do you
I
think it's
tend to
broke
be
the
quite
spell
quick to get
in your
back on it.
head?
Aye. Normally.
So
I've
all
got
of
this-
you agree
Aye.
with that?
I think that comes with the experience.
Right.
if
Yeah, that's the
anything.
difference.
It happened.
I've stopped before and we've come off, and I've went to the guys. I had a wee stop there, and they've went where.
Yeah.
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 You know, you're done back in that quick. They've not even noticed.
Yeah.
Yours is the opposite of mine. It happened to me at Dumbarton last year, 2024. And I can't remember what happened. We were in the sixth part of John McKechnie. I don't know what I was doing, but for some reason, I just lifted my hands because I went, I'm not going to get this, whatever it is that's about to come here, because it was a total brain fart.
Mhm.
I just didn't know it was coming. And I just ghosted the last half of the last bar.
Yeah.
I missed it. It was like the six at the end. Bump.
Yeah.
You ever had that moment as a leading drummer when you're playing away and it's going well and all that, and then you go, what part's next?
Aye. Loads of times.
Aye.
But do you
And
no,
you-
really? But do you not
It's a
think if
total
it's
50-50, isn't it?
Aye.
do you not think if it's gone that well, right? I've got this mad thing, right? That you know how you've got there's a thing called alpha mode, right? So see when you drive to your work, you drive the same route all the time,
Yep.
all the time,
Yeah.
all the time, right? Then, although you're driving it, and obviously you're looking for other road users, right? But technically, you can't really remember.
It's every
Yeah.
journey's the same. That's
Mhm.
Candron Road and Paisley for me every morning.
Do you know what I mean? You can't remember it.
Yeah.
And I've always said that sometimes the weird thing is if you're really in that kind of zone, that it's almost as if you're not there, but you're there. Obviously, you're there, but you know what I mean? It's like,
I like
almost-
the room, but nobody's home.
aye,
Aye.
it's just like,
I think I
Automatic
know.
pilot.
aye,
Yeah,
Aye.
aye.
When you have something like that in a performance, your senses and your awareness is super high.
Heightened,
Yeah.
aye.
Aye.
So it feels so extreme. And
Yep.
if you look at the notation, you maybe only miss like 2 beats,
Yeah.
Aye.
but you feel like you've missed 3 parts.
Aye, aye.
You know what I mean?
Aye.
Out of body experience.
Aye.
I've started doing a thing that as soon as I took over at Uddingston, I wanted to run it in such a way that I didn't want the guys to be the least bit nervous at all. Because I know how nervous it can be standing next to a leading drummer. I know how nervous it can be a new guy coming in to take over the core. I've been there myself.
Mhm.
And instead of it's like, I'll make a face as if, what's that?
Aye.
Like, just
Aye.
taking a time.
I
Yeah, yeah, liven
mid.
up.
Aye.
Aye.
Like, because there's a couple of times Ian Haddo it was somebody over my right hand side in 2024. Something happened and he just went like that. In the circle, and I'm going, all right, okay, fair enough.
I don't know what
Na
happened.
na na na, just hands.
I'll not mention any names, but what I will say, somebody you guys have both played with that plays with me now. So there will be people that don't know who that is. That we when they say it was a blip, it was just a wee thickness in one of the jigs at the Worlds this year. And it got to the slow air, and I can't remember if it was at the slow air or if it was at the end of the performance. He just went, "I'm so sorry." I was like, "Shut up!"
Like, you always want that you always want the poker face at the end there.
Exactly.
Everybody's going to be like, yeah.
Because you do, you
expected.
can,
You've got to do it.
you can
Big
sort
smiles
of,
and all that.
you can sort of see the judge is still behind you, just finishing off his sheet, and you're just like, "Shut up!" It's like the Madagascar smiling.
Aye,
wave,
smiling
boys.
wave,
Smiling wave, boys.
100%, 100%.
Well, you're saying like if you stop during a piece, but do you ever have trouble remembering the start?
No, I don't. I'm not the. I'll be honest. I'm a terrible reader of music.
You also play pipes,
Aye,
so you got the melody in there
but
too.
I've winged most of my life so far, mate. So I mean, I'm doing all right to this day, you know.
I think that comes into play when you're, like grade 1, it's 2 MSRs, 2 medleys. You've got far more
Yeah,
material.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
we're slightly less material in grade
Aye.
2. So you kind of, by the point you're going to play, you've hammered it that much. But it does happen, I suppose.
does,
And also,
aye.
you've composed it as well, I guess.
Aye.
Well,
Yeah.
some of them I did anyway.
My first year with Eric, as I said, it was quite a very experienced core, and I was one in for the flank. I'll no name the flank drummer, but he's standing, we're waiting at the line at the Worlds, and we gets our set, and he goes, "How's that go?" And I'm like, and he's like, "Sorry." I went, and I'm like, he is no getting this.
I will out this person for this because she doesn't play anymore.
Right.
Jen McVicker
Right.
on the line at the Worlds. My dad's a pipe major of the band. Jen's one in, standing next to my dad in the front rank. It's right, guys, medley, all right. Right, fine. Jen just looks at my dad. You know what Jen's like. How's that opener go again? And then the piping judge is just to the right, and what? How does that opener go again? And my dad's like, dum,
Just like this.
if she just waited
Aye.
10 seconds, he would have been humming the tune anyway.
Ah.
Brilliant.
Pre-match rituals. For
Do
the
you have any?
core, for the individual. You know, for instance, I seen you all went and played golf for the Worlds.
For the Worlds, aye. I
Um,
wouldn't call
Four
Maroon.
as well. That's like pretty risky, isn't it?
It's them to get the
well, wait a minute,
lucky
just I'll
boxers.
get this. Listen, I need to get this in. Don't go with Jason because he's a golf cheat.
No, we just played.
I took
different
him
in
out.
Australia.
Golf cheat.
Is he?
Aye, cheats, mate. Cheats, laddie, man.
No one else was there. You just gonna believe him?
A lot of your shots like the flight MH370.
Oh, he's just that.
Look good in the air, but didn't know where it went.
There's a little bit of that.
Very good. But, any rituals? Les? No?
Not really, no. None. Just stay calm. Like, they don't really do it. No.
Don't think
Just-
too much of it. Like,
No, just try it. Like, one of my main things now, if I go back a bit as a leading drummer when I first was at Johnston, as a leading drummer, and I kind of like, was a bit of a shouter at the start.
Right, aye.
And then I soon realised this isn't working. You know, people had their back, people would get fed up with you. And
Yeah.
so I soon realised that didn't work. See, now, I think the most thing we do at a major is just have a laugh all day.
yeah.
Even just before you're going on, it's always quite light-hearted.
Mm.
Aye, really.
And I think that's key to keeping the guys calm.
Because I'm just going to say this, I'm not going to mention any names, right? Some people I've worked with in the past, right, like to get a bit aggressive and tonto and say, right, let's stick it to them the day and all that.
I think
As
there's
if they've been
always...
turned down with them, you know, as if it's personal. Like.
Bit of a
Do you know what they're
Braveheart,
doing? Do you know what I heard them saying about us today? Not right? As if get
you're
the
back
war
war.
paid on.
Yeah,
Come on,
it is the
get it.
Braveheart. It is the Braveheart moment, but I'm one for. I'm always putting big things into the drummers group chat anyway. You've got your John Wilson's that just latches onto everything that you say in there and just it turns into an absolute rabble. I dread to think how many of my core have that group chat muted. Honestly, I dread to think, but it is. It's a. I'm the same as you. I thought that coming from Stephen. I mean, Stephen isn't a shouter, but you know your place. You know your place and you know what's expected. And that's the kind of mentality I want to relay to the guys that I've got as well. So, like, the night before, it's pizza in the house, up in the morning, get the shirt and the flashes and all that ironed.
Never heavy.
I have said to the guys, obviously Belfast this year, I have said to them, on your head, be it, do what you want, but if you're showing signs of ill
Lethargy.
capacity, don't be surprised.
Are you booking us that flight or not? By you hear about this? Is this happening?
yeah.
Is it happening or not?
I don't
Have
think
you
it is
found out
now.
about
What's
it?
this
Yes
about?
or no?
Right.
Tell Craig.
I'm
Listen to
trying to
this.
speak to the boys about this tonight as well.
Cool.
So obviously, years gone by, Belfast, your weekend trip has cost you about 200 quid, if that. Round about that
Aye.
kind of bracket. We've priced it up recently there, and it's going to be costing 400 and 500 quid a head, and it's absolutely outrageous. So I thought, right, I know some people that went to a certain football tournament final in Seville a few years ago, and they chartered a plane for 156 people. So I sent a wee email off, and for a price to see how much it was going to cost to get a flight out from Glasgow 9 o'clock in the morning and returning 9 o'clock that night. And just recently there, it's come in 5 figures, obviously, and it's just below 30 grand. So it's not going to go ahead.
That's not going to happen.
Nah, it's not going to happen. But
I don't know anybody in the
thought
RAF, or
process.
else I'd ask maybe if they could put on a Chinook for us or something like that.
The
That's not going to happen.
everyone.
Might not get the drums in.
I'll just stick with my.
They don't
50 quid
serve drinks
easy
either.
jet flight.
Aye.
They're always dry, so.
One of the lassies I know for one of the supporters clubs, she chartered a flight from Edinburgh, Glasgow to Seville
Right.
for 2021 Europa League final. I think it was only about 350 quid each.
See, that would work out all right, do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But you were in like a couple of hours before.
Right, wait a
the
minute,
game.
Craig, that's a fail. Right, so it doesn't matter about the wee bird with the supporters
you
club.
have
No, it doesn't work. That's it.
You have got experience losing to Seville as well, so it's all right.
So, the pre-match, you get anything that he's doing, or just the same kind of vibe?
No, really. What's the
Maybe.
same as what the boys are saying? What I would say is, what I have noticed when you start the season, especially with the last couple of years where we maybe started away from home, so we're in hotels and whatever. If you've been quite successful,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, right, we need to do that again. So it's like, right, I can't no put a skiing down there.
All right.
Or I can't undo,
Yep,
I
skim
can't
that,
undo
that's
this tie because
my tie gets done at the start of the year and doesn't get
aye.
Yeah. Same underwear.
So the kind of results dictate a pattern almost. It's like, right, we need to just keep doing that.
Yeah.
You know?
You know how Richard Les? Where do you sit in the bus, Les?
Up the back.
Up the back, no.
Are you up the back?
Drummers
Davey?
are always up,
Up
the
the
back,
back.
aren't they?
I normally drive to the contest because 9 out of 10 times I've got a gig. At night, so I
Seven.
never get away.
That's enough. Aye.
So I drove.
I'm an up back guy. I like being up the
Aye.
back as well.
Aye.
Something better about it. I don't know what it is, right? So she like pipe majors, drum majors in the army. You know, it's like almost contractual that they've got to sit at the front of the bus, as if they say, "We're the management.
I'm leading
we,
this. Aye.
we sit in the front." Oh, so that's bonkers. Because actually, if you want to catch folk out, you'll be able to sit
Yeah.
at the back and you can see everybody.
Mm-hmm.
As if that's that guy.
Better at the back than the way back, though,
And it's
isn't
better, correct?
it? Aye.
Mhm.
The wheels
Never,
are
and,
up.
then all the folk for the middle and the front all want to come up the back. Get back to your seats, shoes people.
There's a photo of us after Perth going back down, and Dan was absolutely devastated because he lives in Blairgowrie,
Huh?
so he never got a chance to get on the bus on the way back down to Livingston. And that was the first one we got in Drummond this year, so we were absolutely over the moon. Like, really delighted to get that one the week before the Worlds. And Cammy decided that it was going to be like, I'm sorry, mate, I need to tell this story. So Cammy decided, obviously, remember Perth, it was roasting. It was
Yeah.
absolutely
Oh, aye.
boiling.
Yeah.
Cammy decided, right, I'm going to take my kilt off, got this brand new pair of lovely underwear his missus bought him. Like, boxers, not a pair of
Yeah.
frillies or anything like that. So, I'm sitting.
That's a
And-
ritual.
Cammy's ritual. So I'm sitting in the centre in the aisle looking down the bus coming back from Perth, and we had only left the park 5 minutes, and must have got to about Broxton roundabout, and John Wilson, he's sitting to my left hand side, and he goes like that. I'm going, oh God, what's he going to do? And John's off, he's not. John's mental. Right. He lifted him by the boxers like that. And Cammy's he's banging off the top of the bus. He's snugging him like that. And then at one point, his boxer just get totally ripped off.
No.
And he's stunning.
No.
And then he's like, when he gets shame, where's your underwear?
His missus played in the band last year.
Oh, that's all right.
So she
She'll know
was
the
raging, like, she was raging.
Move down.
Equipment.
Yeah.
Who are you wearing? As in drum wise. Les, who you got? What he's doing? What's your drums? What kind
Premier.
Premier. Davey.
And Dante.
Premier.
Just to
Larry, what's your drums?
we're Premier.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, just a wee footnote, by the way. I don't know if you've noticed on Instagram and all that. So Scottish Veterans pipe band. You know, we're like kind of trying to get things off people, etc., etc. So the Army School of Piping, they gave us a shot of their Premier drums. They're in great nick, and I think they sound quite pretty good. But we don't have a bass section. So, like I was saying, I said to Craig, I said, listen, we're looking for a bass drum. So if you see it, he's like, I'll leave it with me. And he messages me and he says, look, bass drum going for sale there. Right, 28-inch, cracker. Good nick, great price. So I was like, I said, belter. Phoned up the guy. I says, look, I'm even willing to come down in the van, pick it up. I think the price was like 250 quid, right? So price was mint. The drum was mint, right? I'm like, this is too good. It's like one of the ones you're never going to see this 250 quid again type thing. So I messaged the guy, phones him up, and he was telling me, he says, oh, you know that mad Ozzy Osbourne voice, because he comes to that area, that Birmingham. He's like that. And she says, oh, you know, I used to have a drum shop and I'm retiring now and all that, right? And I do actually, I do know about Jim Kilpatrick, but we'll do that in the end, right? Anyway, so he's like, he says, so I had this drum shop, he's retiring, selling all the gear off, he's got some stuff, stock, blah, blah, blah. I was like, listen, I'm your boss. I says, please, sell me that drum, we really need it, right? And he's like, he says, I done deal with, she's dealing with me on the phone. I says, when do you want the money? And he's like, she's no, can wait till January. I says, superb. He says, well, see, rather than you coming down for it, she says, I'll post it up to you. I'll do it in like a kind of DHL type thing. I says, this is great, magic. So I picked him up for the airport, right? But he did say this to me. I says, what kind of nick's the drum in? He says, listen, he says, it's really good nick. He says, the only thing is a band that had it before, he says, there's sunlight and it's kind of marked the shell of the drum. He says, but obviously the markings are off it now, but the sunlight's kind of bleached the band thing. And I was like, that's not a problem.
I'm getting the absolute fear here.
So listen, so we gets back, I picks him up for the airport about 3 o'clock a day, drives back home, back door, big massive box drum. I'm like, you're a dancer, bass drum's here. Takes it in the living room, opens it up, right? I'm like, there's even skins on it. It's in great nick. And then I look in the light, and there it was, British Ulster Alliance flute band. I thought, oh, nectar. And I've got the Ibrox gig in the 15th. I'm like, somebody's trying to tell me something, you know what I mean? That's a great nick for a flute band drum day, you know what I mean? I'm like,
the guy gave me a bung for selling it to you.
I just thought, that's the irony in this isn't missed on me, man, do you know what I mean? But,
Is that all right, though, aye?
Listen, it's great. But listen, we're also on camera. You were the one that says you were going to do a bit of vinyl for me.
Speak to Renico.
So what? See when you said about the vinyl, but listen, was that? I had an idea for the drum, right? I don't know what you think about this, right? So you know how, like, on army drums, wait, it gets good, because this is good. You might well want to do this. You'll copy me this. So you know how in army drums have got like battle honours, Alamein and all that, right? And that's your regimental colours, right? I was actually thinking, right, for the veterans colours, we have Friends of the Veterans, and we sell them a space.
Huh?
And you could say, my Uncle Harry was, captured at St Valerie, and Harry Laird, and you'd put his name on it, and you could, like, almost like a memorial.
Uh-huh.
And I thought we could maybe do that with people. And
I did that at Ibrox as well.
You got a wee brick there. But do you know what I mean? I thought that might be a good idea. It's one some of the folk can invest in the band, but it's something. Do you know how we've all? I mean, without going down a rabbit hole, we've all got sponsors, and we're all trying to make money for the band. And I'm just trying to think, the sponsors normally, they get the skin, and they get like that kind of, that thing there. But I'm actually thinking, and the reason I'm thinking about this is, each band member that you've got, this is the way I look at it, right? Each band member that's giving you their time, they're spending their money. See, in an indirect way, they're actually one of your best sponsors, right? So, and the reason this all came about is, see, when back in the day, when I was at Glasgow Sky, right, this is many moons ago, they were on about like sponsorship, and they dropped the sponsorship with the car company that they had.
Phoenix
right?
Honda.
Phoenix Honda, right? This is a classic, right? The band get dropped the sponsorship because there was the stock market drop type thing, and Phoenix Honda turned around and says, we can't afford to sponsor the band, right? But we want the logo still on the drum. Listen to this. The band agreed, or the committee agreed, that it would be fair for the committee to keep the logo on the drum for that season, even though Phoenix Honda weren't going to sponsor the band that season because times were tight. And I went, no being funny, right? If time's tight and I've got a car on tick, and I went to Phoenix Honda and went,
Exactly.
listen, I'm driving this Honda Civic, but I've not got any money this year. Can I just get the tick off this year and go back to next year? I went, who's running this? This is bonkers.
I know why that is.
And that's, well, we'll get to the bottom of it later on maybe. But the bottom line is, I thought, and I said this at the band meeting, I went, well, listen, see the amount of money that people are paying as subs. I says, their name should be on the bass drum. I says, because they're sponsoring the band effectively. Your main sponsor isn't sponsoring. They're paying their subs. Effectively, they're your sponsor.
I had the same sort of idea at Lawrie and Clyde a few years ago, where no, it wasn't Lawrie, it was the Danoon band, where because we had 7 side drummers and it's 4 or 5 tenors. I says, go around the local businesses, ask for a couple of £100, you put your sticker on the drum. So
Yep.
they sponsor the drum for the year.
Yep.
And they can do it for the following year if they want, or they can just do it 1 year. So you just get around local businesses, but the same goes for the pipers as well. Where's the most prominent part on a set of bagpipes that you're always going to see? It's right at the front. See like the big
Jones,
cross? What sponsorship across that? If there's 25 pipers all at the time, where you could be having 25 different sponsors in the Grade 1 arena, why not?
Why not? I mean, the band can't function without cash.
No.
And that's getting dearer and dearer every
And
year.
it's getting more and more expensive.
We've just spent an absolute bomb on brand new uniforms, getting new drums. So,
What colour of jackets did you have last year?
like kind of blue.
I thought that, aye.
Aye, it is. It's blue, isn't it?
Doesn't beat the Bryn though, does it?
No.
No, listen, I'll tell you one thing, totally envious. I love the actual brown tweed. I'm a massive fan.
Ours is a blue tweed.
It's not the brown tweed.
Aye, I know.
Come on,
But
Craig, get somebody else a shot. You know what I mean? I mean, this is blue, that'd be-
get your
I'm talking about the brown tweed, didn't we?
We've got blue.
We wanted. I've got a boat. So we were looking at jackets and waistcoats because obviously our uniform's not resolved yet, right? But we went to Shilling Fitz. We were after Harris Tweed jackets and waistcoats type thing, and the Royal Regiment of Scotland's got its own kind of tweed thing, and that was coming in at $11,500. 25 guys in the band. So it's all quite expensive stuff, and then we're not talking about obviously transportation fees and etc. And it's an absolute. I would say running costs for a band probably going to like maybe 15 to 20 grand a
I
year.
think it's probably close to tripled in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
I think it
The
has.
bus prices have massively
Massively went up.
I
Aye.
mean, it used to only be about £400 or £500 for a bus for Dumbarton.
Aye.
Oh,
It's
fucking
no over a grand.
Ah, you're
Nah,
over
it's over a grand, yeah.
Aye.
Aye.
Whilst we're on the subject of money and spending stuff, because we're talking about drums that you've got, Premier, and Andante. The Dante's sound indoors is amazing, by the way. I'm definitely going to put my neck out and say that. I don't care what you think, right? I'm telling you what I think. And I think that was really palpable at that indoor we played. Listen to me. I was,
You were there in spirit.
I was there in spirit. I was up there with the best of them. But no, I think it really
But you want your name on a
is.
drum or something?
No, it works really well indoors. And I know that this is another weird thing, right? So, sound-wise, right? And this is where it gets like dark chocolate, milk chocolate type thing, or red bounty, blue bounty. What are you, a blue or red bounty, baby?
Neither.
Neither.
No way, Davey.
Blue.
I go red.
What's the red
I'm
one?
a dark
Dark
chocolate.
chocolate.
Dark chocolate.
I'm not going to heard of that.
Don't like
Aye.
coconut.
Oh,
Let's just leave it.
I used to have a
Just-
coconut dog.
What?
A coconut dog.
What's that?
You're walking down the street and everybody goes, look at the coconut dog.
What's a coconut dog?
Coconut.
What's that?
At least 2 years I've got it.
is this like a culture thing? I don't-
That's him, he's done.
That's who's done. Right, okay, moving on. Took me a while. The penny slowly. It was easing into my brain there.
That's
It
one of
was
the best ones I've ever heard you deliver.
You're good, Craig. We'll give you that.
That's
Rotten
no bad.
rotten at drumming.
Aye.
Good part of them. Right. So I back to the kind of the flavoursome stuff, right? And where it's hard to put a handle on. So I've always said this. I still stand by it. I love Fife Policy's sound,
Aye.
right? I think they've got an amazing
Yeah.
sound after drums and mix fusing Premier. I think I'm not sure, but I don't think it's Mick that actually does the fine tuning.
Ian, I'm sure it's Ian Ray that does it.
I think it is, but
Aye.
irrespective,
Well,
it's
sub-
a sublime. I
brilliant,
think it's
aye.
sublime sound at the back, right?
Mhm.
But it's an MDL shoot there that really captures the kind of essence for yous as lead drummers, that you think that's the kind of sound I'm chasing, or are you trying to brand? Have you got a rationale in your head that you think, no, I don't really want that sound? Because I know there's drum corps that don't necessarily favour that.
See,
Do you know what I
I had this argument with myself.
Really, Craig?
Aye.
You're like at the mirror.
So-
no, Craig doesn't like that. Aye, Craig likes that.
There was something about the white and Dante heads on the Premier that I really liked,
Uh-huh.
but there was also something about it that just didn't sit right with me for what I was looking for. I don't know if it was because you're wanting that sound that sounds good from where your harness position is,
Yeah.
but you're also wanting the sound off the back,
The back.
as well.
Yeah.
Now, that's what will get me to my next point here. We went 2024 with the white and Dante heads, and I had this absolute belted a brainwave that when I spoke to Jim Kilpatrick, just on the off chance, I says, tell you what, see if I got a bunch of the Tendura heads, tell you what, love that. I've got a bunch of them sitting there. So, bought them off Jim.
No, wait a minute. He went, Craig, I've got about 10 in the shed I could maybe give you.
Is that Ozzy Osbourne again? So I bought, I think it was 8 or 9 off Jim, and I got a couple elsewhere, and I've still got quite a few going. I think the drum sound that we had last year, it started off a little bit flat, but at Perth, cranked to top and bottoms, and I think that's when we really got the full bang of what I was really wanting. The year before, the sticks were a wee bit lighter than what I'd liked them to be.
Right.
We went with a bit heavier pairs of sticks this year.
What kind of weight you talking about then?
We went to 59s,
Oh, aye, that's quite heavy.
58s, 59s. But just the way I set the top heads, there was towards the end of the season, every practice we were coming up, there was always one Tendura, bang, it went
Yeah.
whilst we're in the band hall. So I was just kind of replacing it with the white and Dantes. And the mixture, I would argue, was better than anything I had over the last 2 years of the mixture of the white and Dante and the Tenduras.
All right.
So I've still got a bunch of them there that will remain doing that. But I think I found the sound that I'm looking for now, and it took me 2 years to get it.
So you're saying playing like half of the group playing with one head and another half with another head?
I've got a question for you. What do you do when you can't get any more Tendura heads?
Ask me at the end of next season. I've got enough to do with till then.
What about you, Stevie?
I think you've got an ultimate sound that suits you best with the style you've got and what you're doing. But I think the numbers changes that as well. So like if you're on quite a light core, the then you've got to watch what you do with your sound. It might not be just quite as high as what you would like if you had a big core.
Yeah.
Just to still get that projection at the back and get the bang that you're looking for. So I think it changes, but ultimately, look, I've got quite a lot of experienced guys in the core, and they're no long in telling you if the drums aren't right.
Yeah.
You know, it's a kind of collective thing.
Yeah.
And collectively we sort it, you know.
Mhm.
So
Les?
Pretty much what Davey's saying there, aye, same. But I also think sound's a personal preference.
100%, that's what I'm saying.
What I think might be brilliant, you might think rubbish.
100%.
Same
Yeah.
with you
Aye.
guys. But you kind of, you set it to where you are at the time, I feel. So, but towards, we were like what Craig was saying, towards the end of the season there, it's just finished. We kind of were getting closer to what I was wanting, but it was taking a lot of time. But plus, we just moved on to Premier from Andante,
Right.
and I've been using Andante for years. So it took a bit of time to get used to the drum.
Aye.
And obviously, you've got to get used to what you're working with.
It's like you've got this sound in the band hall or in your house, wherever you're changing the heads, and you get to a point where you're going, I'm really, really liking that. And then you go to a contest and you're going, that's
Aye.
like,
I think your mind can be twisted, but when you hear somebody else's drums,
aye, and that's
yeah,
why
of course I can,
I'll deliberately
yes.
not
Aye.
go and listen to anyone else. I don't
Before
want
you
to
do
hear
that
any other
sound.
drums apart from myself
Aye.
before I've played. A lot of the sound work from us gets done on the Tuesday and Thursday before it. Have a look at the weather. What's it going to be like? Is it going to be warm? Right. I'll no bother racking up the tap beads. Maybe just crank the bottoms a wee bit and see where we go
Aye.
for there.
Sticks. What you used?
PDX we've been using. That's Eddie Hoystick, Beat
Yeah, yeah.
Street. Aye.
KP2s.
KP2s.
Yeah.
Stephen Crichton, the newest ones.
Right. I'm wanting to move to them. I've got no money, obviously. I don't want to spend
it on here.
I don't want to spend it between this podcast and the bass drum for the band, but I need to get funds released and intend to buy Stevie Crichton sticks. But the problem with that is obviously we're using KP2s, and I don't know whether I'm going to manage to bring people with me with that. Do you know what I mean? Because Stevie sticks a bit longer, and I know that, you know what I mean, when a drummer picks up a stick, uses it for ages, and then you go, right, now use this one. You need to kind of get the feel for that stick. So you know what I mean? Not necessarily anybody's stick. It's the fact of the change. I felt when I was playing with Steve, remember the black grip, Stevie Crichton?
I like them.
Did you like them?
I like them.
But it took me ages to get used to the kind of, I know it sounds mental, the feeling of the length in them.
Yeah.
I felt they were really long.
I know. For me, it was I've been playing Stephen sticks for a number of years at that point.
Yeah.
So he had the Vater ones that were out first. That was his first ones, and they were the same sort of as the KP2, and I felt anyway with just the kind of bigger head. So when he brought out the new one from Promark, I thought I really liked the kind of the butt end being rounded off, and it was like kind of taper. I really liked the feel of them. I get thrown a pair at me at one of my first practice, and I played them for 2 years after that. That's a lie, sorry. I lost one of my pairs at the All Islands, and I got another set off him, and that set was even better. I've never had a bad pair of them.
Well, listen, I'm going to kind of wrap this up.
Yeah, but hold on. Before you wrap it up, we're talking about gear. We need to know what pads you're playing.
Yeah. Pads.
This is compulsory.
Compulsory pads. What's your pad?
The Kilpatrick one,
What one?
I don't know what it's called.
It's not the El Chico, is it? No.
That's it all. Once you can change the...
Oh, you take one off the one.
Aye, really good.
David, what you got?
Russell Esler's.
I like that. Right.
Yeah.
So along the same sort of lines, but I've been mowing.
Hey?
Oh, have you? Aye.
Whoa.
You skinflint. The same idea though, like a kind of harder sound.
Same sort of like the hybrid sound of the foam and then the plastic on top.
Aye. I
Are
think
these
that's
for sale? Or?
No. I went to JW Grants and got a big massive length of MDF, got a table saw on my work, and then laser cut out all the circles.
Look at you, mad scientist.
actually, you need a Blue Peter type
A day.
gig.
Medal.
I thought you were going to say a badge. Blue Peter badge.
I'll take any that's gone, mate. I don't mind.
Looking forward, guys, right? So this month is a busy month for us. I can hardly wait to this Masters. I know you're playing at it, Craig, but more importantly, I'll be there. But the good news is we've sponsored a trophy.
Have you?
Aye.
Ah,
I've not helped with that then.
Aye.
I've seen who I'm playing against. I've not helped with a trophy.
So the podcast's got its own trophy there. I'm looking forward to it because I think it's a good time of year, the end of January, and it's good to see like the people that are involved, i.e. the players that are going to turn up. I don't think it's too shabby calling it the Masters. I think it's a good thing.
I think I had this conversation with my dad. Obviously, I work in the same factory as him, not in the same company, obviously, but the Masters to me was that 1997 recording of Gordon Brown, Paul Turner, Kilpatrick,
I was
Barry.
there. It was phenomenal.
I was there too.
Honestly, aye.
Aye.
But I played
loved it.
for Alan Craig in that one, and that's the only reason I think I was there. I vaguely remember it. I would have been 8 or something like that, but I remember vaguely being there. I think that generation of Masters will never be topped. I don't think anyway.
Yeah.
That's my honest opinion. Maybe that's just a generational thing.
Yeah.
The generation that we are,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
that was the Masters. That's Eric, you get Gordon Brown,
Yeah.
all these guys, Neil Cranston, all that
Paul
were playing
Turner.
at Paul
Paul
Turner.
Aye.
All these guys that were playing in it that were when you were a wee guy, that they were the guys. They were the much nuts. Now I feel a bit of a fraud to a certain degree.
Yeah.
That I've been placed in this bracket of playing in that. But
Yeah,
at the same time, I'm kind of like I'm highly honoured to be
Yeah, I
asked
mean,
to do
come
it.
on, you've got to be fair. At some point, well, I know you're only, what was it, 7th or something in the world, is that right?
Aye,
only 7th.
Only,
I know,
Aye.
exactly. I think you've got to take it with the kind of.
Listen, I use the term fraud very
gush
loosely.
that
It's more like that's what I'm thinking. I deserve to be in it. I still
It's
look at
imposter
myself.
syndrome.
Yeah,
Aye. I still look at myself in the World Solo Final and I go, I remember watching that up to 2002, 2003, and it was all these same guys that were on that Master CD
Yeah.
that were in that.
Aye.
That to me is a World Solo Final. It's obviously a different generation now.
But
and
then
I
you
feel
could
a bit of an
argue as well
imposter
that
being in that, you know.
you could argue as well that the music to an extent changed
Oh, it has. It's
somewhat,
completely
and
changed, yeah.
the technology's changed as well. So, I mean, I suppose somebody like your wee man Firavara and your wee man Matthew Brownlee, you know that.
Mhm.
Mhm.
They're probably looking at this, and I suppose some point in time they'll be.
These
You know what I
wee
mean?
guys are coming up. and
The
they're serious, like.
up and coming youngsters that are probably looking at you, and they'll probably be thinking, I don't know, in a few years' time, they'll be wanting to aspire to say, this is where I want to be.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
That new breed of players coming through at the end of their juvenile solo
Yeah.
drumming career.
Yeah.
There's some there that are phenomenal.
It's
Aye.
insane.
Scary.
I've said this hundreds of times.
Aye.
And the way that the drumming is getting like transferred and pushed out through like high schools and just normal,
Yeah.
you know. So like opposed to having to walk through the snow and go to a band hall or get a bus to a band hall,
Mhm.
the instructor's coming to the school
Mhm.
and he's got all these people that are getting access to it. I think there's a better sense of accessing pipe band drumming, and it's resulting where you're getting like phenomenal wee players, and they're demonstrating that. Do you know what I mean?
I think a lot of it is to do with social media as well.
Yeah,
Because
100%.
a lot of these wee guys and girls, they get to watch Kerr McQuill and Stevie
Yeah.
Sheridan doing all this absolutely stuff that I could never even dream of playing on a video, playing along
Yeah.
to Lincoln Hilton stuff and all that.
Yeah,
This is the generation you're in now.
Yeah.
That if you'd done that 25 years ago, you'd have been looked at as a.
aye.
Imagine
Nut
what that would have been
job,
like. What was the version of that 25 years ago? But now you've got this generation where, as Les was saying there, you've got this generation coming through the juveniles into the kind of adults. And I'm kind of like, is this the year that I don't make the World Solo Final? Is this going to be the year?
Mm.
Because I've heard Stephen saying that plenty of times that it gets harder and harder every year. And I assume it does, yeah. And I know how much practice I had to put in this year.
Yeah.
And I still didn't fulfill what I wanted to do.
Such a good sign of the times.
Yeah.
That
Oh, it's in a very healthy
pipe
place now.
banding is like at this point.
Same with offering online lessons. You know,
Mhm.
you're talking about schools.
Yeah.
But a lot of these young kids that we're speaking about, they're just going straight to the top
Yeah.
guys.
That's
and
right,
saying,
aye.
look, I know I stay a million miles away from you, but I'll just jump onto Zoom or whatever,
I'm doing it. Yeah.
and they're connected straight away.
Aye.
It's so easily accessible now.
That's so
Aye.
accessible.
Aye.
Anyway, on that note, guys, I think we've got nothing much to kind of talk about. Well, we have, but we've not got enough time. But thanks very much for coming on the
No bother.
podcast.
Thanks for having us
I hope,
on.
No
I hope
worries.
he's now subscribe. Aye.
I'll need to add you as a friend first.
Putting he's on the spot. better like and subscribe that next time you see the show. Oh, that's a great show. That.
Aye.
I think the guys are brilliant, by the way.
I
Pass
hope
that
they're
around.
not expecting us to be like the open goal thing, but it's the same 5 every week. Bleed you dry.
Nah, this is never happening again, by the way. It's a one-off. Unless the subscribers give me a couple of quid to do it again, but I'm never doing it again.
That's how it happens.
We're just sick of paying for flights, paying for us. Too much.
Put him in that telly for Australia in
Do
future.
you know what? That was a good idea. He was in Sweden yesterday, right? Because obviously he was
You
already
just fly over here. That's just like an easy thing to do.
the flight get cancelled. No, it was a bit topsy turvy. He's like, phoned me up. I says, "Listen, your flight's been cancelled. What? Your flight's been cancelled." Then we're getting to 2:30, and it made us a wee bit. And he's back out again at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. So it's literally a flying stop, just for you guys, just
Appreciate
because it's you people.
I'm honoured to be here.
So thanks very much.
Absolutely.
I hope
Yeah.
to see you soon in the
Well.
future.
Yep.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much.
All the
Cheers,
best.
my man.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Cheers.